If someone shows these signs, they're melting inside when you're near. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is not about how much you say, "I love you," but how much you prove that it's true. They may seem calm, even indifferent when you're around, but there's an unmistakable shift. Their gaze lingers a little too long, their hands are restless, and it's as if they're holding on to composure by the thinnest thread, yet you can feel the pressure building beneath the surface. In all my years of studying human behaviour, this is a pattern I've witnessed time and time again. When someone's emotions are overflowing, but their lips remain sealed, the body becomes the messenger. And in those quiet moments, when words are absent, their actions speak louder than any confession could. Often, these signs are suppressed by fear, confusion, or sheer unwillingness to confront what's being felt. But emotions don't ask for permission to surface. They escape through fleeting glances, subtle gestures, or the way someone's posture shifts when you step into a room. In this video, I'll reveal the psychological clues that someone is quietly melting inside just by your presence. These signals are delicate, easy to miss, but once you recognize them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Let's uncover the truth in these silent whispers, starting now. Sign 1. The gaze that tries to escape, but keeps coming back. When you're near someone who's emotionally torn, you'll notice something subtle, yet unmistakable. Their eyes. They seem to avoid your gaze, only to circle back to it over and over again. It's almost as if there's an invisible pull they can't resist. They won't hold your gaze for long, but it keeps coming back to you. The moment you catch them looking, they quickly avert their eyes, as if you've caught them in the act of stealing something intimate. This is not mere shyness, nor is it a coincidence. This is the dance of emotional conflict, what psychologists call approach avoidance conflict. It's a powerful internal tug of war. One part of them yearns for emotional closeness, while the other part is afraid of the vulnerability that comes with it. Their eyes betray this deep internal struggle, revealing a desire to connect, yet a fear of being seen too deeply. This isn't just a passing glance, it's a powerful magnetic pull that they can't fully control. If their eyes keep coming back to you, even in a crowded room or amidst casual conversation, it's not an accident. It's a signal that their subconscious is reaching out to you, even as their conscious mind warns them to retreat. That look they try to hide, the one they're not even aware of, is not simply attraction. It's emotional intensity, trying desperately to remain contained. You can feel it. You can see it. It's an unspoken language of the soul, speaking louder than any words ever could. And here's the truth. You must understand the deeper message here. They want you, but they're terrified to let you in. But this is where you must apply the lessons of the Old Stoic mindset, the principles of mental fortitude and wisdom that have endured for centuries. You must understand that such emotional vulnerability is not something to fear, but something to embrace. The Stoics, with their iron mind, would say that we must not shy away from discomfort. Instead, we must face it head-on. And while this person might struggle with their own vulnerability, your own strength, your ability to be calm and centered, as the Stoics taught, will provide the stability they need to feel safe enough to open up. You see, the old Stoics taught us that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a doorway to strength. So when you see these signs, don't shy away or retreat. The battle they're waging inside is one we all face in some form or another. Their eyes are a reflection of their internal storm, and how you respond, whether with patience, understanding, or quiet strength, will be the determining factor in whether they feel safe enough to stop hiding and allow themselves to connect with you. If their gaze comes back again and again, it's not just a fleeting moment. It's their emotions reaching out, testing the waters, trying to gauge your response. In such moments, the Stoic principle of equanimity can guide you. Stay calm, stay grounded, and let your presence be steady. Don't demand or push for their vulnerability. Instead, let them feel safe in your stability. In doing so, you'll create an environment in which they feel empowered to be open, without fear of judgment or rejection. This is the essence of emotional intelligence, recognizing the internal conflicts of others, understanding them, and offering a safe space for those conflicts to resolve. Think about the old Stoics again. Their iron minds, their ability to remain unaffected by external forces. When you're confronted with such emotional intensity, don't be swept away by it. Let it come, observe it, but do not allow it to control you. Just as the Stoics remained unshaken by life's storms, you too must remain steady in the face of emotional turbulence. This isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about being strong enough to handle the heat of someone else's emotions without letting it burn you. It's about finding balance, embracing the vulnerability in others while protecting your own inner peace. Remember, the battle inside them is not unlike the struggles we all face. Everyone has moments of vulnerability, moments when we long to connect, but fear being exposed. The old Stoics were not immune to such feelings. They knew that to live fully, to truly engage with the world, we must face these fears head-on. The next time you see that conflicted gaze, understand that it's not a sign of weakness, but a call for strength. And the best way to respond is with the steadiness of an iron mind, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoic principles. So, here's your task. Next time you see someone caught in this emotional crossfire, don't turn away or ignore it. Recognize it for what it is, a signal that they're trying to connect with you, but are caught in their own inner storm. Show them the calm strength of an iron mind, grounded in old Stoic wisdom. And above all, be patient. Let them come to you on their own terms, and when they do, welcome them with open arms, knowing that you were the one who helped them navigate their vulnerability. Sign 2. Nervous energy, the fidget, the sigh, the hidden smile. Nervous energy, the fidget, the sigh, the hidden smile. You can feel it in the air, even if it's faint. They're trying to maintain composure, but their body betrays them in the smallest, almost imperceptible ways. It's in the way they adjust their sleeves, tap their fingers rhythmically on the surface, or run a hand through their hair without a reason. These subtle gestures may seem trivial, but they are anything but, each one a sign of something more profound. This restless energy only emerges when you're near, a silent indicator that something is stirring inside them that they can't quite control. Psychologically, this is known as displacement behavior, a concept rooted in the principles of practical Stoicism. When someone feels overwhelmed by emotions like excitement, anxiety, or even the fear of vulnerability, their brain redirects that pent-up energy into small, often unnoticed physical actions. It's a survival mechanism, a way of expressing emotions that feel too overwhelming to articulate openly. You see, emotions can't always be contained by the mind. The body, in its wisdom, finds a way to speak. But that's just the beginning. Then there's the sigh, the quiet release of tension, deep and almost imperceptible, as if they're trying to let go of something too heavy. It's not just a breath, it's a momentary surrender, or the smile they almost manage to conceal when you speak to them, perhaps when you share something simple, something sincere. You might catch the faintest flicker on their face, a warmth, a vulnerability that escapes their careful control before they mask it again. That fleeting moment, though brief, reveals more than any words ever could. It shows that beneath their cool exterior, there's something else stirring, something they're desperately trying to keep hidden. And don't be fooled. These aren't just random movements or nervous tics. They are the signals of a heart that is struggling to stay composed, while, in truth, it's quietly unraveling in your presence. This is where the Stoic rules come into play. The idea that one should maintain composure, remain unshaken in the face of internal turmoil, is powerful. But even the Stoics knew that the heart, when it feels deeply, can't always keep the body from speaking. What happens next is key. When the body begins to communicate in these small but telling ways, it's often because the heart is too full to remain silent. In modern life, we may try to bury these emotions, suppress them, mask them with distractions, or dismiss them as trivial. But like the Stoic wisdom teaches us, ignoring what we feel doesn't make it go away. Instead, it often finds another way to reveal itself, whether we like it or not. This is the nature of being human. We are creatures of emotion, driven by forces both seen and unseen, conscious and unconscious. And when someone is melting inside, struggling to stay composed while their heart speaks volumes through these subtle movements, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to the complexity of human connection. When someone shows this kind of vulnerability, when their body reveals the emotional turmoil they are trying to mask, it's a powerful indicator of their feelings toward you. You have the choice: ignore it, or see it for what it is, a sign that they care, that their presence is not just a formality, but something that matters deeply to them. The Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that self-control is paramount, but it also emphasizes the importance of understanding and respecting the emotions of others. In your own life, if you notice these signs in someone, recognize them for what they are: a delicate dance between composure and the overwhelming force of inner feelings. This is a powerful lesson in emotional awareness, one that can make all the difference in how you connect with those around you. Understanding these subtle cues can deepen your relationships, allowing you to approach situations with more empathy and insight. Don't just see the surface, see the heart beneath it. When someone's nervous energy speaks volumes, don't let the chance to connect pass you by. Instead, take it as a moment to honor their vulnerability, a rare gift in a world where we often hide our true selves behind masks of stoic indifference. If you've ever noticed these subtle signs, it's a reminder that people's emotions can speak louder than their words. Don't ignore the unspoken connection. See it for what it is. If you recognize this in someone, drop a comment right now. I see beyond the surface. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, understanding someone's silent struggle is where true connection begins. Sign 3. They mirror you without realizing it. Picture this. You lean in, and without thinking, they do the same. You cross your arms, and moments later, they follow suit. It's subtle, almost like a synchronized dance, but it happens instinctively, without any rehearsal. The truth is, they're not copying you on purpose. Their mind is doing this without their conscious awareness, because emotionally, they are in sync with you. Psychologists refer to this as mirroring, and it's one of the most powerful unconscious signs of a deep emotional connection. When someone mirrors your posture, tone, or even your energy, it means they are trying to build rapport, signaling, "I feel safe with you. I want to connect." And when someone is emotionally stirred, when their heart is melting just by being near you, mirroring becomes almost impossible to control. They are not trying to imitate you. They are resonating with you, like two emotional frequencies syncing up naturally, without either person realizing it. It's as if your energies are aligned, operating on the same wavelength. It's an unspoken bond. When you notice these subtle echoes of your behavior mirrored back to you, don't ignore it. Their heart is responding to yours, whether they're aware of it or not. This is the undeniable power of connection, and if you're paying attention, you'll see the signs. Just as Epictetus taught on the paths of wisdom, understanding the natural flow of human behavior is key to mastering personal interactions. Life is not about force, it's about resonance. The more you tune into these subtle signals, the more you realize you don't have to chase or manipulate, you just have to be present. When they mirror you, it's their way of telling you that you've awakened something deep within them. It's a Stoicism win. That's your victory. But remember, just as the ancient Stoics emphasized control over emotions, be aware that this mirroring is not always a sign of true intention. Sometimes it's just a subconscious response, but when it aligns with their deeper feelings, it's an affirmation. They are melting inside. They are responding to you. The key is to stay grounded and aware. This is a moment of mastery, not manipulation. As the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You, in this moment, have become the teacher, showing them what they crave but are afraid to admit. Be aware. Recognize these signs, watch for the mirroring and understand its depth. It's a signal. It's a call to action. And when you understand it, the game changes. Be present. Be aware. Because when you walk the paths of wisdom, guided by Stoic principles, you begin to win, not just in the world, but in the hearts of others. Their hearts, stirred by your presence, will speak to you in ways that words never can. So, if you want to master this art, keep your eyes open for this sign. It's the key to truly understanding the depth of connection. Sign 4. The voice cracks or softens around you. When someone shows signs of vulnerability, such as a sudden change in their voice when they speak to you, it's never by chance. Picture this. They're in the middle of a sentence, and for no apparent reason, their voice cracks, softens, or falters for a brief moment. Maybe they stumble over their words, or their tone shifts to something much gentler, more vulnerable. This subtle shift in their vocal delivery is far from random. It's a direct reflection of the emotional shift happening within them. The voice, after all, is intricately tied to our nervous system. It's one of the first places emotional exposure is revealed. Whether it's the nervousness of anxiety, the pull of attraction, or the longing of deep, hidden feelings, our bodies can't always conceal what our minds are trying to suppress. A cracked voice, a soft laugh, or an unexpected whisper are all signs of someone being emotionally affected. It's like their body betrays them, exposing feelings they may not even be aware of or trying to hide. In those moments, their voice becomes a window into their true emotions, an emotional leak they can't control. Now, if you notice that this change in tone only happens when they're speaking to you and not to others, then you're witnessing something much deeper than mere nervousness or a fleeting moment. It's a clear sign that their feelings towards you run far deeper than they're letting on. Their emotional state shifts in your presence because you've somehow triggered something profound within them. They may try to keep it hidden, but when someone is melting inside, it's impossible to entirely conceal what's happening inside. The old Stoic wisdom would tell us to master our emotions, to hold firm, to possess an iron mind, one that doesn't waver. But even the strongest of minds can be moved when confronted with deep feelings of attraction, admiration, or longing. Stoic principles emphasize control, but there are moments when even the most disciplined mind can falter. Their voice betrays them, slipping in every trembling syllable and revealing their internal turmoil. Take this as a reminder of how fragile even the most hardened individuals can be when confronted with true emotional vulnerability. The Stoic doesn't let emotions dictate their behavior, but they also don't ignore their humanity. We must acknowledge that when we see signs like a softened voice or a sudden emotional crack, it's not something to dismiss. It's a powerful moment of emotional exposure, and it's as much a signal for you to recognize as it is for them to understand. If someone's voice betrays them when you're near, it's a reflection of a shift in their world, one that you've unknowingly influenced. And that's a testament to your presence, to your power in their life, no matter how subtle it may seem. We all have moments where we try to keep our emotions hidden, but it's often in these small, seemingly inconsequential moments that the truth of our feelings comes to light. Take a step back and reflect on this when you encounter someone whose voice shifts when they speak to you. Consider the deeper connection at play. Are you truly aware of the influence you have on those around you? How do you handle the emotional shifts of those you interact with? Are you someone who provides a safe space for vulnerability, or do you create a world where the Stoic principles of emotional control are revered to the point of silence? Take this lesson into your daily life and share your thoughts. Have you experienced a moment where someone's voice changed in your presence? How did you respond? Do you see the beauty in recognizing someone's vulnerability, or do you lean on the Stoic ideal of unyielding strength? Share your perspective in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about the true power of emotional expression and the wisdom we can learn from understanding it. If you've noticed someone's voice cracking or softening when they speak to you, it's a clear sign of emotional vulnerability. It's a moment where their true feelings are revealed, whether they want to admit it or not. Recognizing this power in your presence can change how you see emotional connections. Now, I want to hear from you. Comment below with, "I acknowledge the power of vulnerability." Let's dive deep into understanding emotional shifts and how they shape the way we connect with others. Sign 5. Their guard is up, but they let you in just a little. Their guard is up, but they let you in just a little. It's subtle at first, a quiet kind of tension that you can almost feel in the air between you. You can tell they're cautious, carefully observing every word, every gesture, as if measuring how much of themselves they can afford to show. There's an invisible wall, and it's their first line of defense, built from past wounds and experiences they're not yet ready to face. Perhaps when things get too real, they deflect with humor, masking the vulnerability beneath with a joke. Maybe, when the conversation turns too deep, they skillfully steer it back to safer territory. It's a dance, a back and forth, where you can sense that they're keeping something back, even though they want to be open. But then, just when you least expect it, they'll slip. A personal detail, a truth that feels too raw to admit, will unexpectedly emerge. It's like a secret spilling out through a tiny crack in their emotional armor, as if they can't fully contain it anymore. This is the sign of conflicted vulnerability, the quiet chaos that exists within them. They're not yet ready to trust you with everything. Not fully, but in that fleeting moment, they give you a glimpse. It's almost like an unspoken confession, a moment of silent surrender. Psychologically, this is a significant, albeit cautious, sign that they're emotionally melting in your presence. Their defenses don't crumble all at once. They fall in pieces, small moments, brief pauses, almost confessions, and eyes that convey more than their words ever could. It's not about them throwing down their walls in one swift motion. It's more about the hesitation, the tension that lingers, followed by these small, revealing gestures that can make you question what you're seeing. But there it is, undeniable. A heart torn between two forces, fear and desire. They're afraid of what it means to be vulnerable, but at the same time they want to let you in. They might not admit it openly, but in the smallest of moments, they're silently signaling that they trust you more than they want to, more than they thought possible. They're saying, "I'm scared, but there's something here that compels me to let you see inside." When you find yourself in this situation, you must understand that it's a dance between two opposing forces within them, protecting themselves from past hurt while at the same time yearning for connection. This is where practical Stoicism plays a key role. The Stoic rules teach us that we can't control others' actions, but we can control how we respond to them. In moments like these, patience is your greatest ally. You must let them take their time. Stoicism tells us that true strength lies in emotional restraint, in recognizing that emotional vulnerability is something we earn, not something we demand. Their vulnerability is a gift, one they're not likely to give easily, so don't rush it. Stay grounded in your own calmness, and give them the space to navigate their emotions at their own pace. It's crucial to be mindful of the fact that, while they are revealing small cracks in their emotional armor, they may not be ready for a full breakthrough. Just because they share something personal with you doesn't mean they're ready to expose everything. As the Stoic rules advise, practice self-control and maintain your emotional equilibrium. Don't force them to open up more than they're ready for, but rather create an environment where they feel comfortable and supported enough to continue sharing, piece by piece. In modern life, we're often quick to push for more from others, but understanding the value of gradual trust building is an essential part of connecting with someone on a deeper level. When you encounter someone who's emotionally melting in your presence, remember that their vulnerability is a precious thing, and it takes time to nurture. The Stoic mindset teaches us that we must control our impulses, and that includes not trying to rush the process of someone's emotional opening. Instead, let your actions speak louder than words. Show them that you can be trusted with their secrets, and that you're not going anywhere. Let your steadiness, your strength, be the anchor that allows them to relax just a little more each time. There will be times when their emotions seem like a delicate, fragile thing. One moment they're open, the next, they've pulled back. It can be frustrating, but don't mistake this for confusion or mixed signals. It's simply the process of someone who's learning to trust again, navigating the difficult path between holding on and letting go. In these moments, it's important to remind yourself of the Stoic principles that guide you through uncertainty. Remember, you are not responsible for their emotional walls, but you are responsible for how you respond to them. With patience and understanding, you'll begin to see that the cracks in their armor are not signs of weakness, but of strength, of a person willing to allow you in, even just a little at a time. The process is slow and methodical, but it is also incredibly rewarding. By embracing the principles of practical Stoicism, you can navigate this emotional terrain with wisdom and poise. You'll understand that their vulnerability is not something to be rushed or forced. It's something to be earned and honored. Every small step they take towards you is a victory. Every crack in their emotional armor is a sign that they trust you more than they did before. Don't take this lightly. Instead, recognize it as an opportunity to prove that you can be a safe place for them, one where they can gradually begin to lower their guard, knowing that their vulnerability won't be met with judgment, but with understanding and respect. As you move forward, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Emotional resilience isn't about avoiding vulnerability. It's about facing it with grace, patience, and control. The emotional walls others build are often the result of past hurts and fears. But with your calm presence and the application of practical Stoicism, you can help them find the courage to let those walls down. Don't rush the process. Don't push for more than they're ready to give. Instead, focus on creating a space where they feel safe enough to keep revealing their true selves, piece by piece, moment by moment. It's a journey that requires both patience and wisdom, but the rewards, deeper connection, stronger trust, and a bond that can weather any storm, are more than worth the effort. Sign 6. Emotional delays the text. You'll notice it. They take longer to reply. The messages come slowly, carefully, like a man walking through a field of landmines. 5 drafts, multiple edits, each word scrutinized before it even touches the screen. It's not because they aren't interested. No. The truth is, they are too interested. Every response, every emoji, every punctuation mark feels like it holds weight, a weight that could tip the balance of something much deeper. Behind every delayed message is an emotional storm, a whirlpool of overthinking, a battle between what they want to say and how they think it might be received. They type, they delete, they reconsider, wondering if one wrong word or misplaced emoji might expose the rawness they're desperately trying to contain. This isn't apathy, it's emotional pressure, the kind that comes with caring too much. In psychology, they call it impression management under emotional load. When someone feels deeply, they become acutely aware of how they're being perceived, every word carrying the weight of their inner turmoil. It's not about hiding feelings, but about preserving the illusion of control. And so they hesitate, they pause. Sometimes they go silent, not because they don't care, but because they care more than you could possibly imagine. In the eyes of the Stoics, such behavior wouldn't be unexpected. Epictetus, that master of emotional discipline, taught us that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In other words, detachment from the external world allows one to remain unshaken, even under pressure. But here's the paradox. The more a person feels, the more they're caught between the external pressure of revealing too much and the internal pull of wanting to be vulnerable. It's in that internal tug-of-war where this delay comes from. A person who feels the weight of their emotions, especially when they don't want to risk vulnerability, will second-guess every action, every word. They're not shutting down, they're guarding their inner peace. Now ask yourself, have you noticed this in their behavior? Have you observed them typing, then deleting, or waiting too long to respond to you while still being present when you're together? This is a key indicator of emotional conflict. They want to connect with you, they want to express their feelings, but they're walking the paths of wisdom that Epictetus so often spoke of. Paths where one learns to master their emotions, to hold themselves in check in the face of overwhelming desire, fear, or passion. They're caught between stoicism and the rawness of their own heart. They understand the need for restraint, but at the same time, they're tempted by the desire to pour their soul out. And here lies the true nature of emotional delays. It's not a lack of interest or a reflection of being too busy. It's the quiet realization that to speak too soon might cause harm. If their responses seem more deliberate, calculated, or they appear distant online but genuinely present when together, it's not because they don't care, it's because they care too much. When someone is melting inside, even the simplest message can feel like a confession, an act of exposing their most vulnerable self. They would rather withhold their thoughts than risk saying too much, too soon. You see, Stoicism teaches us that true mastery over our emotions doesn't lie in denial or suppression, but in control. It's in understanding that life is a balance between engagement and restraint. Those who show signs of hesitation in their communication understand this balance, perhaps even without fully realizing it. They fear that by revealing too much too soon, they may disrupt the fragile equilibrium they've built for themselves. The paths of wisdom are never easy. They are paved with the understanding that true power comes from within, and the ability to control our reactions is the truest form of strength. To feel something deeply and yet maintain composure, to choose not to overshare because it might overwhelm the other, is an art in itself. So how does this relate to your modern life? It's time to recognize the emotional delay for what it truly is. It's not an obstacle. It's a sign of someone who has mastered their emotions, someone who has learned the power of silence, of pause. The next time you find yourself waiting for a response, don't be discouraged. Understand that it's the weight of their feelings and their desire to keep control that is holding them back. And if you truly want to connect with such a person, give them the time they need, respect their boundaries, and when they do speak, listen with the same care they put into every word. Remember, the path of wisdom is not just about finding answers, it's about the pursuit of understanding. So when you feel that hesitation, see it not as an obstacle, but as a signal. It is the sign of someone who is walking their own path of wisdom, balancing emotions, and slowly but surely, mastering the art of emotional stoicism. The truth is, they do care. And when they feel safe enough, when they've crafted the perfect message, they'll share it with you. No edits, no hesitation, just raw, unfiltered truth. The art of patience is a victory, a true stoicism win. If you understand this, you'll not only be able to connect deeper, but you'll also begin to embody these paths of wisdom in your own life. Don't rush, don't push, let the silence be. In the end, it will speak louder than any words could, and when that message comes, you will know it's worth the wait. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Sign 7. Their presence lingers even in absence. You'll notice them, not through grand gestures, but through an undeniable, subtle force that seems to draw them into your orbit over and over again. It's as if fate keeps putting them in your path. They're not always in your immediate presence, but they're never far either. It's the casual comment in a group chat, the occasional glimpse of their name in a message thread, or the briefest interaction that carries an inexplicable weight, just enough to remind you they are there without being overt. This isn't mere coincidence. This is emotional orbiting. It's a powerful psychological pattern where someone, unable or unwilling to directly express their feelings, still finds ways to remain close to you in the most subtle ways possible. It's the quiet shadow they cast in your life, making their presence felt in places and moments you hadn't expected. It's the unmistakable sense that, despite their absence, they're still there, quietly lingering, even in silence. It's important to understand. This is not manipulation. This is longing, pure and simple. It's a quiet, careful, unresolved emotion that keeps them tethered to your world, even if only in the faintest of ways. When someone is truly melting inside, when they're feeling something deep for you, but can't fully bring it to the surface. You'll feel their presence even in their absence. It's in the music you listen to, the fleeting memories that surface in random moments, or the times you suddenly find yourself thinking of them, even though you hadn't intended to. This is how deep connections work. Some bonds are so strong, so profoundly rooted, that they transcend mere physical proximity. Even when the person isn't around, their presence echoes. It lingers in the spaces they've left behind, lingering long after they've walked away. This is the essence of Old Stoic wisdom at play. The Stoics taught us to master our minds, to forge an iron mind capable of enduring even the deepest of emotional storms. Their principles guide us in moments like this. They show us that true power doesn't come from controlling others or seeking validation from them. True power lies in controlling our own emotional responses. The Stoic doesn't chase or demand attention, nor do they seek to manipulate or force others to show their feelings. Instead, they remain steady, unwavering in their own principles, recognizing that emotions like longing, desire, and even absence can be tools for growth. They understand that even the most subtle signals from others, whether in the form of emotional orbiting or silent gestures, are reflections of the world around them and offer valuable lessons in patience and perspective. You must learn to recognize these signs, to understand that someone who truly melts inside when they're near you doesn't need to shout it from the rooftops. The Stoic mind knows that silence is often the loudest signal. When someone lingers, even when they're not physically present, it's not always a sign of weakness or confusion. It's a reflection of deep, quiet yearning, and it's in that yearning that both you and they can grow. As you embrace the Old Stoic way of thinking, you begin to understand that longing, when tempered with wisdom, is not something to be feared. It's something to be understood, something that deepens the connection, whether or not it's ever fully expressed. Remember, the iron mind doesn't chase or demand attention. It remains grounded. It doesn't waver in the face of silence or subtlety. It remains steady, strong, and aware that emotions like longing can be transformative. You must learn to harness that power, to see these signs not as signals of insecurity, but as reflections of a bond that goes beyond words and actions. The Stoic understands that these moments, these subtle reminders, are part of life's intricate design. They are not to be overanalyzed or feared, but accepted as part of the ebb and flow of human connection. And so, the next time you find yourself thinking of someone who seems to linger in your life, even when they're not physically present, remember that the connection is likely deeper than you realize. Trust in the power of the iron mind. Recognize that what may seem like a quiet presence is, in fact, a powerful force. The Stoics understood that silence often speaks the loudest, and in those quiet moments of longing and presence, there is much to learn. Don't ignore them, don't rush them. Instead, let them unfold in their own time, for they carry lessons in patience, growth, and emotional mastery. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope this video gave you a deeper understanding of those subtle yet powerful signs that someone might be melting inside when they're near you. It's fascinating how emotions can show up in ways we don't always notice, and sometimes the most profound feelings are expressed in the smallest, most quiet ways. These moments of vulnerability, when a person is emotionally unraveling without even realizing it, are not only powerful, but also incredibly fragile. Here's the thing. When someone is melting inside, they often don't even fully realize it themselves. It's like their emotions are rushing ahead of their conscious mind, leaving behind these little clues that we can pick up on. They might try to deny it, convince themselves that they're fine, or even push you away, but the body always speaks the truth. Their subtle signs are telling a story that words can't. It's not always about what's being said, it's about what's being felt beneath the surface, and that's where you come in. If you can recognize these signs, you're unlocking a secret language of the heart, one that isn't often spoken aloud, but is universally understood. Emotions like this are deep, and they're often more powerful because they aren't shouted or expressed in grand gestures. They whisper to us. They are the quiet breakdown of walls that sometimes even the person going through it isn't ready to acknowledge yet. This kind of vulnerability is a beautiful thing, and it's a reminder to be kind, not just to others, but also to ourselves. So, my sincere advice to you, pay attention to those little signals and give space for both yourself and others to process emotions, even when they're difficult or unspoken. Don't rush to judge or jump to conclusions. Instead, approach these moments with patience, understanding, and an open heart. We all experience these silent emotional shifts, and it's in those moments that true connections can form. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever caught these signs in someone, or maybe even in yourself? I'd love to hear your experiences. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about these subtle yet powerful emotional moments. If you found this video insightful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, so you never miss a deep dive into the fascinating psychology of love, human connection, and emotions. And don't forget to stay tuned for our next video, 5 tiny signs. Someone is secretly fighting their feelings for you? Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks again for watching. Take care, be kind, and I'll see you next time. 8 clear signs you're a highly attractive man, but you don't even realize it. Old Stoic wisdom. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to have you here today. Let's start with a simple reality. Many men are far more attractive than they give themselves credit for. But here's the catch. True attraction doesn't always announce itself in grand gestures. Often, it's the quiet, subtle signals that are easy to miss, especially if you're not attuned to recognizing them. A lot of men believe they need bold, obvious signs to confirm their attractiveness, especially when it comes to women. But that mindset can actually hinder your confidence and prevent you from seeing the truth. You might already be more magnetic than you think. Attraction, especially from women, is rarely as direct or transparent as many people expect. Women are often socialized to express interest in more nuanced, understated ways. So, if you're waiting for overt signals, you might be overlooking the fact that you're already standing out in ways you haven't yet recognized. Today, I want to reveal 8 clear signs that you are, in fact, a highly attractive man, whether or not you realize it. These signs are not about superficial tricks or empty pickup lines. They're grounded in real psychological and emotional patterns that show how others genuinely perceive you. If you've ever wondered why people seem to be drawn to you, why women catch your eye but don't say much, or why other men treat you with a blend of admiration and subtle competition, then this video is for you. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you'll start to see yourself and the way others see you in a new light. Let's dive in. Sign 1. Women hold eye contact and then look away quickly. In a world where many men wait for clear, overt signals to confirm attraction, one of the most powerful indicators often remains subtle and unspoken. Women know that attraction is not always delivered through bold statements or exaggerated gestures. It's often communicated in quieter, more refined ways. The eyes, the window to the soul, become a key tool of exploration, testing, and connection. One of the clearest signs of female interest that men often fail to recognize is the way a woman looks at them, especially how she holds her gaze just a little longer than is socially customary, only to quickly look away. It's a moment that's so delicate, yet so profound, and it speaks volumes. This subtle exchange is a dance of power and vulnerability, rooted in the deep, instinctual behavior of human attraction. When a woman holds eye contact just slightly longer than expected, she's not merely observing you, she's testing you, testing to see if you're paying attention, if you're aware of her, if you're attuned to these silent signals she's sending. The old Stoic principle of maintaining calm and focus in the face of subtle cues applies perfectly here. A woman in this moment is asking, "Do you see me? Do you feel what I feel?" And your response, without a single word, will tell her everything she needs to know. What follows is often a quick withdrawal of her gaze, almost as if she's caught in a moment of vulnerability and then instinctively retreats. But then, in a split second, the gaze returns. This back and forth movement isn't random. It's biologically encoded behavior, a quiet, subtle form of courtship. The first look opens the door. The second glance invites you to step inside. It's a quiet yet powerful invitation to engage, to meet her halfway in this unspoken connection. This is where the power of the iron mind comes into play. A man with control over his emotions, someone who can remain calm in these moments and understand the significance of silence and subtlety, will respond in a way that reveals his own inner strength and confidence. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting in a cafe, lost in your thoughts, when suddenly you feel a gaze. You look up and find her eyes locked onto yours, not by accident, but by design. There's no rush to look away. She holds the gaze just for a beat longer than usual, almost as if time has slowed between the two of you. Then she looks down, perhaps brushing a strand of the hair from her face or glancing at her cup. But just before you look away, you catch it again, her gaze briefly meeting yours once more. It's not politeness, it's intentional, it's intriguing, it's reserved yet full of meaning, carefully wrapped in restraint. Now, here's where many men miss the mark. They mistake this subtle exchange for mere politeness, or assume she's simply looking around the room. They don't understand that eye contact is an incredibly bold and calculated move in the language of attraction, especially when it's paired with hesitation and that second, confirming glance. The dance of attraction has always been one of subtlety, not clarity, and while many men wait for a woman to speak up and state her intentions, they overlook the fact that most women won't make the first verbal move, not because they lack confidence, but because, as Old Stoic wisdom reminds us, subtlety is the key to understanding the deeper currents of human connection. True attraction isn't about loud declarations or overt gestures. It's about recognizing the quiet moments, the small pauses, the unspoken understanding between two people. In real life, the man who pays attention to these moments, who notices how a woman's gaze lingers, who senses the weight of silence between words, becomes more attuned to the nuances of human interaction. He understands that communication goes far beyond words. Women are often waiting for men to notice, to step into the space between them and respond, not with grand gestures, but with quiet confidence. This is where the Stoic principle of self-mastery comes into play. A man who can remain calm, poised, and confident in the face of this subtle exchange will not only understand the woman's intentions, but will also have the ability to respond in a way that feels natural, measured, and powerful. So the next time you catch a woman's gaze lingering just a little longer than expected, don't dismiss it as coincidence or friendliness. Don't let the moment slip by unnoticed. Take a moment to pause, to return the gaze with confidence. You don't need to speak a single word. Just being present in that moment, acknowledging the silent connection, will communicate everything you need to say. Remember, in that brief exchange, she's already saying, "I see you." And your response, through your calm presence, your awareness, your quiet confidence, can say, "I see you too." The dance of attraction has always been subtle. Be the man who notices it, who understands it, and who responds with the strength of an iron mind, grounded in the wisdom of the Stoic principles. Sign 2. You get compliments on more than just your looks. In the eyes of a woman, a genuine attraction towards a man often transcends mere physical appearance. Compliments she offers reveal a deeper connection, something intangible but undeniable that she feels, not just observes. While younger men might chase validation through superficial means, looks, or status, a man who exudes effortless magnetism stands out not because he tries to impress, but because he has cultivated an internal quality that radiates confidence and calm. When a woman says, "There's something about you," or "You're different," she's not giving a fleeting remark. These words point to the emotional resonance your presence carries, an energy she can feel but can't quite explain, and yet she can't ignore it. Compliments like, "I like how you carry yourself," or "You're so easy to talk to," aren't just about the words you say or the way you dress. They reflect something much deeper, the subtle but powerful impact your self-assuredness has on those around you. In a world full of noise and distractions, women have an exceptional ability to pick up on emotional nuances. A man who is calm, self-assured, and carries himself with purpose creates an invisible force field around him, one that isn't flashy but deeply felt. Women don't simply notice how you look, they notice the inner quiet strength you project. They sense that you don't need to seek approval from others because your worth isn't dependent on external validation. This sense of internal stability attracts her and piques her curiosity, drawing out compliments that speak to your emotional intelligence and psychological depth. When a woman says, "You have such a confident vibe," she's not just talking about how you look. She's acknowledging your steadiness, your composure under pressure, your ability to be fully present in the moment without needing to assert dominance. It's a quiet power, one that comes from knowing exactly who you are and not needing to prove it. When she says, "I like talking to you," the compliment isn't just about the topic or the conversation itself. It's about how you make her feel. In that moment, she feels heard, understood, and safe. That's the kind of presence that leaves a lasting impression. It's the kind of energy that resonates with her on a deeper emotional level, building an intimacy without physical touch. The true impact of this presence isn't about charm in the traditional sense. It's about how you show up for others, how you make them feel in your presence. This is the kind of emotional intelligence that Stoic rules emphasize, the ability to master oneself, control one's reactions, and create a space where others feel respected and understood. A woman may not always have the words to articulate why she feels drawn to you, but she'll always remember the way you made her feel. That's why the men who truly leave a lasting impact are the ones who aren't remembered just for their looks or flashy gestures, but for their presence. They walk through life with the strength of self-respect and quiet confidence, carrying the energy of someone who knows his worth without needing to prove it. When a woman says, "There's just something about you," what she's really saying is, "You've reached me in a way that's deeper than just looks. Your energy resonates with mine." The beauty of this is that this kind of magnetism, rooted in emotional intelligence and stoic composure, doesn't fade. It lingers, creating a lasting bond that goes far beyond the physical realm. This principle of magnetic attraction is deeply connected to practical stoicism, an internal fortitude that doesn't rely on external factors for validation. It's about mastering the self, knowing your worth, and cultivating a presence that leaves a lasting impression. You don't have to chase attention. When you're rooted in your own strength and composure, attention naturally gravitates toward you. If you recognize yourself in these signs, drop a comment right now. I attract because I know my worth. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily, true strength isn't loud, it's quiet confidence. Sign 3. Women find reasons to be near you. One of the most telling yet often overlooked signs that a woman is drawn to you is the subtle way she seeks to be near you, and it's a powerful indicator of attraction. Attraction doesn't always announce itself in loud, dramatic ways. Often, it's the small, seemingly insignificant moments that carry the most weight. When a woman regularly finds herself in your physical vicinity, it's not an accident. She's intentionally placing herself within your space, quietly signaling her interest and emotional curiosity. Picture a social gathering. The room is filled with plenty of options, yet she positions herself next to you at the bar, slides into the seat nearby at the table, or joins a conversation only after you've entered it. She may not engage in deep conversation or overtly initiate contact, but her presence alone speaks volumes. These seemingly small, subtle actions are not without purpose. A woman doesn't consistently linger near you unless there is something compelling her to do so, a magnetic pull that she may not even fully understand herself. This behavior isn't just about physical proximity, but about a deeper emotional gravity. Women, by nature, are attuned to the atmosphere around them, and they gravitate toward men who exude a sense of calm, strength, and quiet confidence. When you're grounded and emotionally stable, you create a sense of safety and reassurance. This attracts women, drawing them closer without them needing to say a word. It's not about performing or pushing for attention. It's about embodying the Stoic rules of being steady and composed, radiating an energy that invites connection without forcing it. The key here is that attraction doesn't always shout for attention. It often whispers. When a woman makes the choice to stand close to you, to share space without saying anything, don't just brush it off. Recognize it for what it is, a quiet invitation. She is not simply taking up physical space beside you. She is, in essence, inviting you to acknowledge her presence and the unspoken bond she feels. In the world of practical Stoicism, this is a reminder that attraction can exist in the most understated forms. You don't have to make grand gestures to be magnetic. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is remain calm and composed, offering a safe and reassuring presence for those who are quietly observing you. When a woman chooses to be near you, without the need for constant validation or performance, she's simply responding to the energy you radiate. So, when that happens, don't try to force a conversation or take the moment too far. Let it unfold naturally, because the greatest connection often happens when no words are needed at all. Sign 4. Women mirror your body language. There's a fundamental, almost primal aspect of human connection that goes beyond words, thoughts, or even intentional action. It's the way we unconsciously reflect the presence of those we feel drawn to. In relationships, especially between men and women, this mirroring of body language is often the most subtle yet powerful indicator of attraction, and it happens without anyone realizing it, unless they understand what to look for. When a woman mirrors your gestures, posture, or even the rhythm of your movements, it's not an accident. It's not an act of mimicry or manipulation. It's a sign of something much deeper, a connection that goes beyond the surface. Picture this. You're standing at a bar, your elbow casually resting on the counter. A few minutes later, you notice she has done the same. Or you sip your drink, and seconds later, she mirrors that same gesture. It's not an intentional act. It's a natural response to the energy you're radiating. She's not trying to impress you. Her body is instinctively sinking into yours because something inside her is aligning with you on a deeper level, without any conscious thought. This is where the true power of Old Stoic wisdom comes in. The Stoic principles of self-control, calm, and inner peace create a grounded presence that others can't help but resonate with. Just as the Stoics cultivated an iron mind, you, as a man grounded in your own power, will naturally invite others to mirror your emotional rhythm. When a woman mirrors your movements, she's subconsciously saying, "I trust you. I'm comfortable here. I want to stay in this moment." It's not a bold declaration, but a soft, silent agreement to bond in a deeper, more meaningful way. Mirroring can be so subtle that it's often invisible unless you've trained yourself to notice it. But once you see it, you'll understand that it's more than just coincidence. It's a reflection of the emotional resonance you've created in the space between you. And here's the key. It's not about trying to impress her with your every move. It's not about manipulating the situation to get her to like you. No, the real magic happens when she mirrors you because you are completely at ease with yourself. This deep, silent connection is built on the steadiness of your inner world. It's about how you carry yourself, how calm and confident you are in your own skin. A man who has mastered his emotions, who lives according to Old Stoic principles, naturally creates an environment where others feel at ease with him. Your body language, your tone, your gestures, they all speak volumes without you saying a word. A woman doesn't mirror a man who is trying to impress her. She mirrors a man who is already self-assured and secure in his own being. And this goes beyond just physical movement. It's in the way you breathe, the way you sigh when you're lost in thought, the way you shift your weight when you're standing. If she finds herself doing the same, mimicking even these tiny actions, that's when you know the connection has gone beyond the surface level. What's happening is emotional resonance made physical. This is the unspoken bond that forms when two people are completely present with one another. In those moments of mirroring, don't point it out. Don't make a big deal of it. Don't interrupt the flow. Just stay grounded, stay present, and let the unspoken energy between you two continue to evolve. Mirroring is not something to chase. It's not something to try to manipulate. It's something to respect and understand. When a woman mirrors your movements, she's not just copying you, she's revealing the depth of the connection she feels with you. And that, more than anything else, is where true attraction begins. Remember, attraction isn't about being flashy or performing for attention. It's about being so deeply grounded in yourself that others can't help but be drawn to your energy. When you embody the Old Stoic principles, you radiate a calm strength, and that's what others resonate with. That's the kind of man women are drawn to. You must understand the importance of emotional control and self-awareness. True attraction is built on these foundations. So next time you find yourself in a moment where a woman mirrors your body language, don't overthink it. Just recognize it as a sign that you're in the presence of someone who truly connects with the real you. Respect that, and the connection will only deepen. Your body language, like your mind, must be a reflection of the calm and power you've cultivated through self-mastery. This is the iron mind of the Stoics, unwavering, resilient, and magnetic to those who truly appreciate it. Do you agree with these signs? If yes, please comment, "Yes, I agree." If not, please comment what you are thinking. I really hope to understand and share with you. Sign 5. People listen when you speak. In a world filled with noise and empty chatter, there's an undeniable allure in silence. But it's not just any silence. It's the silence that comes with power, wisdom, and deep-rooted confidence. A quiet kind of power isn't about raising your voice or dominating conversations. It's the presence you exude, the calm certainty in your demeanor, and the conviction in your words. A man who truly knows who he is doesn't need to shout to prove it. When he speaks, people pause, not out of obligation, but out of a deep respect and curiosity. Women, especially, are drawn to this kind of man, not by his loudness, but by the energy he radiates. They're not listening to a collection of words, they're listening to the man behind those words, the one who speaks with intention, clarity, and purpose. This is not about trying too hard, or playing games, or being overly charming. No, this is about a profound quality that every great man possesses, the ability to speak with weight, to make each word matter, to speak from a place of groundedness. In the Paths of Wisdom, Epictetus reminds us that true power lies in our ability to control our reactions, not in overwhelming others with force. A man who speaks with this kind of calm authority invokes the halo effect, the psychological principle that suggests that a person who exhibits one positive trait, like calmness or confidence, is often assumed to possess others like intelligence, competence, and trustworthiness. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Women don't just hear your words, they feel them. They feel the emotional resonance that comes from the way you speak, the rhythm, the pauses, the calm deliberation. That's the real power. It's not in the number of words, but in how you make them land, how you make people feel. When you control the pace, when you let a slight pause hang in the air, you create space. That space invites others in, especially women, and they begin to lean in, not just physically, but emotionally. They become captivated, not by what you say, but by the unspoken energy that you carry in every sentence. That is the power of a man with presence. Think about the difference between someone who interrupts or rushes to speak and someone who lets the conversation breathe. The first is insecure, eager to fill the air with noise. The second is secure, calm, and self-assured. Men who exude presence understand the importance of silence. They understand the value of a well-timed pause, the weight of a carefully chosen word, and the unspoken messages conveyed in the way they speak. They don't rush, they don't interrupt, and they certainly don't need to fill every moment with sound. Instead, they command attention by simply being in the room, by having the courage to remain silent when others are trying to make noise. And that, in itself, is a form of leadership, a signal that they know their worth and don't need to prove it. This isn't just charisma. This is emotional maturity. This is self-control. This is stoicism in practice, and it draws people in. When a woman listens intently as you speak, her body language becomes a reflection of the impact you've made. Her eyes soften, her smile widens, and she leans in just a little closer. This is not just a reaction to your words, it's a reaction to the energy that underlies them. Women, in particular, are sensitive to this energy. They can sense emotional maturity from a mile away. The way you speak, the way you hold yourself, communicates far more than words ever could. It's the subtle things, the way your voice doesn't shake, the confidence in your pauses, the way you listen more than you speak, that create an impact that lingers long after the conversation is over. She won't remember every word you said, but she will remember how you made her feel, how you made her stop and think, how you made her feel seen and understood. And that is a powerful form of attraction. In today's world, where everyone seems to be shouting to be heard, the man who knows when to be silent becomes the one who stands out. He becomes the one people listen to, not because he forces it, but because his presence demands it. A man with this kind of self-possession doesn't need to fight for attention. He doesn't need to constantly prove his worth. His value is immediately apparent to those around him, especially women. And when he speaks, his words are not just words. They're a statement of who he is, of what he stands for. This is the kind of man women are drawn to, not the loudest in the room, but the one who speaks with purpose, with depth, with authority. So, take this to heart. When you speak, speak with intent. Speak slowly, thoughtfully, and with calm. Give yourself space in every conversation. Understand that the power isn't in how many words you use, but in the quiet strength that comes from knowing you don't need to fill the air with sound. The most attractive men in the world are the ones who understand the power of silence, the power of presence, and the power of a voice that doesn't need to be loud to be heard. Walk the paths of wisdom, embody the Stoic values of self-control and leadership, and you will find that people not only listen to you, they listen because they can't help but be drawn in. Don't speak to impress, speak to express. Speak from a place of calm authority and let the world respond. Sign 6. You catch people staring at you. Attraction begins long before words are exchanged. It starts with those brief, fleeting moments, the instant your eyes meet across a crowded room and, just as quickly, look away. These are not random or accidental. They are the subtle signals of interest that speak volumes in silence. You, as a man with real presence, don't have to force this attention. It simply gravitates towards you. The truth is, when people are caught glancing at you, it isn't by mistake. It is their subconscious way of trying to understand what draws them to you, of figuring out what stands out, what makes you different. Let me tell you this. If you are the kind of man who commands attention, the way people look at you is telling. They catch a glimpse of you and, without a word, shift their gaze. It happens with a frequency that makes you realize you've struck a chord. It isn't just about physical attraction, but a deeper resonance of your energy that makes others feel your presence even before you speak. Women, in particular, give these brief, repeated glances. They may even lower their eyes when you catch them. It's a powerful sign of attraction and curiosity, a desire to connect but without making it too obvious. This isn't about arrogance. It's about a magnetic aura, something that some men possess without ever having to try. This phenomenon is rooted in non-verbal communication. Eyes are the most honest part of our body, and the glances you receive tell you everything. When someone looks at you and then quickly looks away, they're telling you, "I see something in you." Studies show that prolonged eye contact can be intimidating, too intense. That's why people use quick, repeated glances to keep the mystery alive, to keep the intrigue while protecting their vulnerability. These moments of silent connection establish an awareness of your presence, even if no words are spoken. Think about this. When you notice someone looking your way repeatedly, it's a clear sign. They are drawn to your energy, trying to understand you better. It might be how you carry yourself, the quiet confidence in your posture, or the calmness you exude. These looks aren't just about how you look. They reflect strength, mystery, and emotional depth, qualities that are attractive to women and men alike. Women, in particular, seek men who offer safety and intrigue. They feel this power in your presence, and they instinctively respond. So don't brush these moments off. Don't get self-conscious or dismiss these stolen glances as mere coincidence. Understand that these glances are not just about physical attraction, they are signals of something deeper. They reveal that your presence, your energy, has left an impact. It's a rare and valuable asset to be able to be noticed without uttering a word. There is a saying, people don't just look at you, they feel you. This is what being a man of power means. You cultivate this presence through being authentically yourself, grounded, aware, and resonating with energy that transcends the superficial. Remember, when people steal glances and quickly look away, it's a sign of respect. Something about you draws them in, and that's the essence of true attraction. It goes beyond just what you wear, how you look, or how loudly you speak. It's the quiet strength, the mystery, the unspoken confidence that others feel. It is, as Epictetus would say, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. How you carry yourself, how you react to these moments, this is the true measure of your attractiveness. Don't ever underestimate the power of being noticed without saying a word. Keep walking your path of wisdom, just as the Stoics taught. And remember, this attention you receive is a recognition of your unique combination of confidence, vulnerability, and presence. You are unforgettable. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us, or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Sign 7. Other men respect you or compete with you in any social setting. How other men respond to you reveals more than just casual interest. It exposes your absolute position within the group hierarchy. When men listen carefully to your words, mimic your style, or include you naturally in their circle, they acknowledge your influence and status without saying it outright. This respect isn't granted lightly, but earned through consistent confidence, presence, and social intelligence. They seek your opinion before making decisions in group conversations, signaling that they value your insight and leadership. Being introduced to new people by other men is another subtle marker of their regard for you, a silent endorsement of your place among them. However, not all male reactions are flattering. When other men try to outdo your stories or achievements, they reveal an instinctive desire to compete for status. Passive-aggressive comments like, "enjoy it while it lasts," thinly veil envy and insecurity. Some may attempt to overshadow you around women by being overly friendly or dominating the spotlight, intentionally trying to undermine your influence. Others may ignore you, redirecting attention elsewhere, signaling they see you as a threat. These behaviors stem from an unspoken code where men often gauge and react to power dynamics without consciously realizing it. And it's important to understand that women pick up on these interactions keenly. The one who holds absolute respect and is merely putting on a show, this complex dance of respect and competition among men creates a backdrop that shapes how women perceive you. Genuine respect from peers bolsters your confidence and sends a powerful signal that you possess qualities worth admiring. As the saying goes, your network is your net worth. And this couldn't be truer in the realm of attraction. When other men respect you, it reflects your social capital, and that magnetism does not go unnoticed by women. Conversely, when you see competition, it's a sign you have something worth competing for. Understanding these subtle cues can help you navigate social spaces with more awareness and command the attention you deserve. Ultimately, it's not just about what you say or do, but how the men around you respond that often shapes the story women tell about you. Sign 8. People assume you have dating options in the subtle dance of attraction. People naturally assume you have dating options in the subtle dance of attraction, and this speaks volumes. Confidence, not words, is what truly captures attention. When a man moves through life with a calm, assured presence, he naturally exudes an aura that signals he is desired by others. It's not about bragging or flaunting past conquests. Instead, This silent message reverberates through his very being. Women pick up on this frequency, often before any romantic mention is made. Subtle signs like playful jealousy or an underlying curiosity may arise, as if they can sense there's more to you than meets the eye. This energy, however, is never forced. It's the natural outcome of a man who exudes self-assurance and who expects attention without needing to chase it. It's a state of being, not doing. This kind of magnetic confidence operates on what social psychologists call natural social proof. The quiet assurance that you have options and that others recognize this status, even without it being spoken aloud. You don't need to boast a project value. Your presence alone is enough to tell the story. It's what Old Stoic principles would deem as stoic calm, the inner peace that emanates without any effort or external validation. Think about those moments when women jokingly say, "I bet you say that to all the girls," or "You probably have tons of women in your DMs." These aren't just light-hearted quips. They are unconscious acknowledgements of the high status they perceive. Similarly, when men ask, "How many women are you talking to?" or express disbelief at your single status, it's a subtle recognition of your appeal. What is being acknowledged here is not just looks or charm, but the confident manner in which you navigate life authentically, easily, and without the desperation to prove anything. It's the undeniable allure of emotional security and self-worth. Women have an innate sixth sense for this quality, and it profoundly shapes their attraction toward you. This dynamic also creates an interesting paradox. The more naturally you expect attention, the less you need to actively seek it. This self-assured energy becomes the magnetic force that draws people in, not through loud declarations or flashy gestures, but through a quiet power that speaks louder than words. This invisible force often makes a man unforgettable, leaving a lasting impression on women. It is in fact rooted in the Old Stoic understanding of the iron mind, a mind that remains unshaken, anchored in internal values and principles, free from the need for external validation. So, let go of the hunt for validation, embrace your inner worth, embody Stoic principles, and you will become a magnet for those who are truly drawn to you. Your confidence will be felt in every interaction, and you will notice how others begin to acknowledge your unspoken value. Hey everyone, thank you so much for sticking around until the end of today's video. I hope you found these insights helpful and eye-opening. Here's the thing. Many men go through life unaware of the subtle impact they have on the people around them. It's easy to overlook, but attraction isn't always loud or obvious. It's in those fleeting glances, the body language, and the energy you naturally give off. The truth is, being highly attractive isn't about being perfect or seeking constant attention. It's about how others feel when they're around you, how they respond when you speak, and the way they react when you're in their presence. When women lean in, mirror your movements, or find ways to stay close, it's not just out of politeness. They're responding to something in you that feels magnetic and compelling. And when other men show you respect, or even subtle competition, it's because they sense that quiet, unshakable confidence you carry without even trying. That's the real power of attraction. It doesn't need to shout for attention. It just exists in the way people feel about you. If you've noticed some of these signs in your own life, but brushed them off, maybe it's time to take a closer look. Real confidence doesn't come from constantly seeking validation or needing others to tell you how great you are. It comes from truly understanding and valuing yourself, even in the moments of silence. When you realize your worth, you'll see that you don't need to chase attention. Your presence is already magnetic. So here's my advice to you. Take a step back and start seeing yourself through a more transparent lens. Recognize your own power, not the loud kind, but the quiet, subtle, and steady kind. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing your value and letting that shine through effortlessly. The more you embrace this, the more you'll attract the kind of energy that matches your inner strength. I'd really love to hear your thoughts now. Have you ever experienced these signs in your daily life, but maybe didn't realize what they meant? Which sign resonated most with you today? I'm really interested to hear your personal stories, so be sure to leave a comment below and let's get the conversation going. And before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I've got a lot more content on the way that can help you unlock the very best version of yourself, the version that the world already sees, even if you haven't noticed it yet. Trust me, the power is already within you. Thanks again for watching. Take care, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next video. 99.9% of girls will chase you like crazy after learning this hack, Old Stoic wisdom. Have you ever noticed how some individuals seem to captivate a room the moment they enter, effortlessly commanding the spotlight without saying a word? In today's video, we're delving into the secret traits that make people unforgettable: unshakable confidence, magnetic charisma, and exceptional communication skills. These qualities go beyond just attracting attention. They are the cornerstone of creating deep, meaningful connections that stand the test of time. Stay with us until the end to discover how you can cultivate these qualities and leave a lasting impression wherever you go. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell to stay in the loop for all our upcoming content. I'd love to hear what you think about today's discussion. Drop a 1 in the comments if it resonates with you, or a 0 if it doesn't. Your feedback is incredibly valuable, helping me tailor future videos to better serve your interests. Let's dive in. 1. Confidence and charisma. In a world where surface-level attractions dominate, true confidence and charisma are the unseen forces that capture attention and build lasting connections. Confidence is not a loud proclamation. It's a quiet yet powerful presence, a deep sense of self-assuredness that can be felt before a single word is spoken. When a man enters a room, it's not his clothes or appearance that stand out, but the way he carries himself. His movements are deliberate, his posture grounded in self-respect, and his energy calm yet magnetic. This is the essence of confidence, an inner belief in one's own worth that radiates outwards, effortlessly drawing others in. Women are naturally drawn to this kind of quiet strength because it signals stability, reliability, and safety. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't seek validation, but exists independently of others' opinions. This is the confidence that builds lasting attraction because it is authentic and doesn't waver with external circumstances. As the Old Stoic once said, "He who is brave is free." A man who can stand firm in his own truth and is undeterred by the opinions of others is one who radiates true power. Charisma is the natural partner to confidence, an artful, magnetic quality that makes a person unforgettable. While confidence grounds a man, charisma elevates him, turning him from someone who is admired into someone who is adored. Charisma is not a performance. It's the genuine ability to make others feel seen and heard. A charismatic man does not dominate a conversation, but rather listens deeply, responding with empathy and curiosity. He makes others feel valued, respected, and important. This quality is what women find most attractive. A man who doesn't just talk to them, but makes them feel like they are the center of the universe in that moment. This connection, forged through meaningful conversation, is what lingers long after the interaction is over, creating a lasting emotional impact. Charisma, when combined with confidence, is irresistible. It is a force that draws people in and leaves them wanting more. As the Old Stoic teachings remind us, the greatest wealth is to live content with little. A man who is comfortable in his own skin, able to connect with others from a place of true sincerity, becomes a beacon of attraction in a world full of distractions. In mastering both confidence and charisma, a man taps into a deeper part of his being, one that understands the power of body language. The way you stand, with shoulders back and chest open, speaks volumes. Eye contact, steady and warm, communicates openness and interest. A genuine smile can melt barriers, while small gestures like nodding and leaning forward show that you are present and engaged. These unspoken cues, when coupled with confident words and a calm demeanour, create an aura of strength and warmth that women find both comforting and magnetic. It's a balance of power and gentleness that makes a man approachable yet commanding, humble yet confident, and this is the type of energy that naturally attracts others to him. Women are not drawn to men who need constant validation. They are drawn to men who are sure of themselves, who offer stability and security in a world that often feels uncertain. This is the kind of charisma that doesn't fade with time, but only grows stronger as it becomes a core part of who you are. As the Stoics say, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Confidence and charisma are the results of mastering your mind, controlling your emotions, and remaining unwavering in the face of challenges. True confidence and charisma don't need to compete for attention. Instead, they naturally command it. A man who is rooted in self-assurance doesn't chase after approval. His presence alone demands respect and admiration. This is the kind of man women are drawn to. Someone who doesn't need to perform or prove himself, but is simply present, radiating calm strength. In a world full of noise and distractions, true confidence is rare, and when it is coupled with charisma, it becomes a beacon of attraction. Women are instinctively drawn to this combination because it promises security, peace, and connection, qualities that are more enduring than fleeting physical attraction. As the Old Stoic would remind us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. A man who seeks nothing but the inner peace of his own self-worth doesn't chase after external validation. Instead, he becomes a source of stability and strength for others. Charisma is the secret ingredient that turns good conversations into unforgettable moments. It's not about impressing others with grandiose words or stories. It's about making the other person feel truly seen, valued, and understood. This is where many men falter, believing that they need to speak impressively or dazzle with their intellect. The truth is, women are drawn to men who listen, who engage with them genuinely, and who make them feel like they matter. Charisma is not just about charm, it's about creating a space where others can be themselves, share their stories, and feel respected and heard. In this way, charisma is more than an external trait. It is a reflection of inner confidence. When a man embodies both, he doesn't just stand out, he becomes unforgettable. The energy he exudes makes others feel seen and understood. And this is the essence of attraction that goes far beyond the physical. As the Stoic principles guide us, the obstacle on the path becomes the path. True charisma doesn't seek to impress, it seeks to connect, and in doing so, it becomes the source of lasting, meaningful relationships. To be a man who embodies both confidence and charisma is to possess a power that is both rare and irresistible. It's a combination that doesn't need to announce itself. It simply is. When a man is rooted in his own self-worth and is able to connect with others genuinely, he becomes a force of attraction that is both magnetic and enduring. This is the type of man who wins, not because he seeks to compete or outshine others, but because he remains true to himself and his values. He embodies the old Stoic ideals of inner strength, clarity, and authenticity, which are the foundation for true, lasting attraction. If you want to be this man, the kind who commands attention, inspires admiration, and attracts the right people into your life, you must start with the foundation of self-respect, unshakable confidence, and the art of authentic connection. Don't wait for the world to validate you. Validate yourself, and others will follow. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How do you embody confidence and charisma in your life? 2. Active listening. Listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about fully engaging in someone's world, making them feel like what they have to say matters deeply to you. In a society where true listeners are few and far between, a man who can genuinely and wholeheartedly listen is incredibly rare and therefore captivating. Many women have grown used to conversations where they're spoken over or dismissed, often feeling like their words are just filler until the other person can take their turn. This creates a sense of detachment, leaving them feeling unheard and unvalued. But if you listen actively, with every fibre of your being focused on her words, you send a message that her thoughts, feelings, and perspectives are not only valid but also deeply important to you. Imagine the impact this kind of listening can have when she opens up about her dreams, fears, or even something as simple as her day-to-day experiences. When you respond with genuine curiosity and care, you're making a powerful emotional connection. When you listen without interruption, offering responses that encourage her to delve deeper, you're not just having a conversation, you're creating a sanctuary where she feels valued and appreciated. Women are incredibly perceptive. They can tell when someone is merely waiting for their chance to talk versus truly engaging with what's being said. By giving her your undivided attention, you're not just hearing her words, but showing that you respect and cherish her as a person. Think of how impactful it is when you remember and bring up something she told you days or even weeks later. Maybe it's a small detail like a childhood memory, a favourite book, or a dream she has for the future. By recalling these details, you're showing her that what she shares with you doesn't just vanish into the ether. It lingers in your mind because it matters to you. This act of remembering communicates that her words are etched into your thoughts, not because you have to remember them, but because you genuinely care. This level of attentiveness builds an unspoken bond of trust, making her feel seen and understood on a profound level. And here's where the magic of active listening goes even deeper. As she feels more comfortable opening up, she may reveal more intimate details about her inner world, things she doesn't share with just anyone. By allowing her this space, you're strengthening the emotional bond in ways that words alone cannot express. This isn't just about gaining information. It's about building an emotional foundation that fosters intimacy, security, and connection. She begins to feel that with you, she can let her guard down, express her true self, and be vulnerable, knowing you'll respond with empathy, not judgment. Now picture this. What if you could send a carefully crafted message to her, one that resonates so profoundly that it creates an unstoppable attraction, a message that ignites in her an overwhelming desire to be close to you, to feel your presence, and to be captivated by every word you say? These magnetic messages are more than just texts. They're pathways to her heart, stirring emotions and curiosity in ways she can't explain. Imagine her waiting anxiously for your next text, reading over your words again and again, and feeling an undeniable pull toward you. This is the kind of message that reaches beyond the surface and taps into her deeper subconscious emotions, making her think of you constantly, even if she's committed to someone else or has only considered you a friend until now. But here's a word of caution. Once you send this type of message, be prepared for her reaction. She may begin to feel an intense connection and longing for you that wasn't there before. If you're ready to harness this magnetic power and unlock a new level of attraction, click the link below to discover these secret messages that will make her feel more connected, fascinated, and drawn to you than ever before. With these messages, you'll spark a desire in her that she can't ignore, leaving her daydreaming about you, counting down the hours until she can see you again, and feeling an emotional attachment that grows stronger with each interaction. 3. Effective communication. In the modern age, effective communication is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, and men must understand its weight. Communication is not merely the selection of words, it's an art that encompasses how you speak, what you say, and, crucially, how you listen. You must speak with purpose, confidence, and clarity, while respecting her space and her voice. It's about conveying your ideas and emotions in a manner that demonstrates you respect her thoughts as much as your own. The Stoic teachings of Epictetus have long emphasized the power of measured speech and thought, reminding us that true wisdom comes from controlling our impulses and speaking with purpose. Communication done right creates a safe space where both partners can openly express their thoughts and feelings. Women, especially, are drawn to men who possess the ability to communicate without the shadow of manipulation or domination. They crave transparency and vulnerability, a man who can articulate his desires, frustrations, and dreams in an honest and non-judgmental manner is a man who stands apart from the crowd. Women appreciate not only words, but the intent behind them. When you share your emotions openly, you invite her to do the same, creating an environment where trust and understanding thrive. It is not just about avoiding misunderstandings or resolving conflicts. It's about nurturing a connection that grows stronger with each conversation. It's about showing her that you hear her, not just listen to her. This connection builds not only intimacy, but also a bond that transcends the ordinary. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Similarly, wisdom in communication is not about saying everything, but choosing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. When faced with conflict, many men react impulsively, but true strength lies in measured responses. When disagreements arise, don't let your ego drive the narrative. Instead, approach her perspective with empathy and understanding. In those moments, avoid the urge to win, and instead seek to understand. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that the mature, emotionally intelligent response is often the one that yields peace. Speak with patience, listen with intention, and always seek resolution, not victory. To leave a lasting impression, let your communication reflect maturity. Avoid distractions, your phone, your wandering thoughts. In the moment, be present. Acknowledge her emotions and thoughts with deep respect. Actively listen and provide thoughtful responses that reflect your understanding. It's not about offering solutions on the spot, but showing empathy and acknowledgement. Let her know you see her struggles and understand her point of view. Words like, "I can understand why you'd feel that way," or "that sounds difficult," might seem simple, but they open doors to deeper emotional intimacy. It is in the act of listening with intention that a powerful connection is forged. In every conversation, be committed to understanding her. This will earn you a place in her heart. The combination of active listening and clear, empathetic communication will create a bond between you that is unshakable. Such communication isn't just attractive, it transforms the dynamic between two people, turning casual interaction into a lasting relationship. The paths of wisdom, Epictetus's teachings, and Stoic principles will guide you to communicate not only more effectively, but more powerfully. This approach will ensure that over time, your relationship doesn't just survive, it thrives. So let me challenge you. Don't just listen to respond, listen to understand, and watch how she responds to your growth. 4. Demonstrate ambition, but without arrogance. If she chooses another man, let her go. This truth might sound harsh, but it's grounded in Stoic wisdom that can guide you toward true happiness. The old Stoics taught us that we cannot control other people's actions, only our responses to them. When a woman walks away from you for someone else, it's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reminder that life moves in unpredictable ways, and we must learn to accept that with grace and strength. Stoic principles urge us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. Letting go of someone who no longer sees your value is the ultimate act of self-respect, rooted in the iron mind that the Stoics cultivated. When you release attachment to something you cannot change, you free yourself to move forward with confidence and resilience. In the pursuit of happiness, one of the key elements is ambition, but not the kind driven by arrogance. Women are often drawn to men who have a clear sense of purpose and direction. Ambition, when coupled with humility, radiates a confidence that is deeply attractive. This is a quality of an old Stoic, a man who knows exactly where he's going and is unshaken by the distractions of ego. When you show a woman that you have a life full of goals and meaning beyond the relationship, she sees that you are someone who is not reliant on her for validation. A man with ambition, who is actively working towards meaningful goals, demonstrates resilience, a trait that makes him an anchor in life's unpredictable storms. But don't mistake ambition for arrogance. True ambition is not about boasting about your successes or seeking constant admiration. It's about being silently driven, letting your actions speak louder than your words. This is what makes ambition attractive to women. It's not about flashing your achievements, it's about doing what matters to you with purpose and integrity. An iron mind doesn't need to prove itself constantly. It simply moves forward with quiet strength. As you pursue your goals, let the woman in your life see your ambition through your actions, not through constant self-promotion. She will be drawn to the man who is confident in his own path, who doesn't need the world to applaud him at every turn. Ambition, however, is not limited to professional success alone. A true Stoic knows that the journey towards self-improvement is lifelong and multifaceted. Women are just as impressed by men who invest in their personal growth, whether it's through spirituality, developing meaningful relationships, or pursuing hobbies that enrich the soul. A man who is continuously growing, not just in his career, but in all areas of his life, demonstrates depth and character. He is someone who values progress, not just in wealth or status, but in becoming a well-rounded, fulfilled individual. This resonates with the Stoic philosophy of constantly striving for virtue and wisdom. The iron mind of a Stoic understands balance. While it's crucial to showcase your own ambitions, it's equally important to support the ambitions of others, especially those of the woman you care for. A strong, healthy relationship is built on mutual growth and shared goals. Don't just talk about your passions. Ask her about hers. Take a genuine interest in her dreams, her aspirations, and what makes her feel alive. When both partners are engaged in self-improvement, they create an environment of support and encouragement. This mutual respect for each other's growth strengthens the bond between you, making the relationship more than just a union of two people. It becomes a partnership where both individuals lift each other up, rather than compete for dominance. There is power in the art of listening, a skill that the Stoics mastered long before it became fashionable. When you express interest in her goals and aspirations, you open the door to deeper connection. It's not just about sharing your ambitions, but also listening and being present for hers. This kind of genuine exchange leads to a stronger bond, a bond where both individuals are inspired to push each other forward. It creates a foundation of mutual respect, where both partners grow not only as individuals, but as a team. In practice, this means talking about your goals and passions authentically. Don't exaggerate or embellish. Let her see who you truly are and what drives you. At the same time, be open and vulnerable enough to invite her to share her dreams with you. It's in this shared vulnerability that true connection is made. Women want to feel inspired, and nothing is more inspiring than a man who pursues his goals with the integrity of an old Stoic, steadfast, humble, and unyielding in his commitment to growth. In the end, if she chooses someone else, let her go. This is the Stoic mindset, not clinging to what you cannot control, but embracing what you can, your own personal growth, your own path, and your own happiness. Ambition, when tempered with humility, is a powerful tool that can help you build a life that is meaningful and attractive. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you pursue your goals with integrity and humility, when you embrace life's challenges with an iron mind, and when you allow your ambition to speak through your actions, you will find that happiness follows naturally. 5. Intelligent humour. Humour is one of the most captivating traits a man can possess, but it's not just about telling jokes or cracking wise. Women, like everyone else, appreciate a partner who can make them laugh, someone whose wit and charm can brighten their day. The type of humour that resonates deeply with women isn't about trying too hard to impress or relying on outdated clichés. It's intelligent and spontaneous, something that arises naturally in conversation. When you can make her laugh effortlessly, you're doing more than just sharing a joke. You're creating a connection. It's an invitation for her to relax, to let her guard down, and to feel safe. Humour, when delivered with authenticity and a light touch, activates trust and emotional bonding, two essential ingredients for deepening a relationship. It's not just about entertaining her. It's about showing that you can find joy in life, that you don't take yourself too seriously, and that you can roll with the punches, even when life throws its curveballs. This is where Stoicism and practical Stoicism can become invaluable. By mastering Stoic rules, you learn to approach life with resilience and an optimistic outlook, which reflects in your sense of humour. A man who can maintain a calm demeanour, handle stress without cracking under pressure, and approach challenges with a level-headed mindset is magnetic. These are qualities that women find irresistible, not because they are constantly smiling or joking, but because they project a sense of security and emotional stability. Humour becomes a natural extension of this mindset. It's the ability to laugh at yourself and at life's absurdities, to turn even a mundane or awkward situation into a moment of shared joy. This is not forced humour, nor is it humour meant to cover up insecurity. Instead, it's the kind of humour that arises from the acceptance of life's ups and downs. A well-timed, witty remark can make her smile, and when it feels natural, it builds an emotional bond that no words alone can create. The impact of humour goes beyond just making her laugh in the moment. It's about creating memories and a unique connection that she will remember long after the conversation ends. A simple, spontaneous observation about something funny in your environment can spark genuine laughter. It's not about trying to be the life of the party or constantly cracking jokes. Instead, it's about being in tune with the moment, noticing little details others might miss, and sharing them in a way that makes her feel seen and understood. These small moments of joy build rapport and create a sense of comfort that invites deeper emotional intimacy. The more you can make her feel safe, understood, and connected through humour, the stronger the foundation for a lasting relationship. This is where understanding Stoic happiness and the practical Stoicism approach can enhance your ability to connect. By practicing Stoic principles, you learn to find joy and meaning in the present moment, which naturally enhances your sense of humour. Think about how women react to a man who is able to balance confidence with humility. When you're not afraid to be yourself, not afraid to share your authentic self through humour, it makes her feel comfortable and unguarded around you. She doesn't need you to be perfect, but she does want you to be genuine. Humour is one of the easiest ways to show this. When you're confident in your ability to make light of a situation without forcing it, you send a message that you're someone who is comfortable in your own skin. That's magnetic. It shows that you can be playful, but also serious when the moment calls for it. A man who knows when to laugh and when to be thoughtful or deep is someone women want to be around. Someone they can see themselves spending time with, not just for a few laughs, but for the long haul. That kind of emotional depth, combined with humour, creates a lasting attraction. This connection isn't just about the big moments or the flashy gestures. It's the small, everyday moments where your sense of humour shines. Picture yourself in a situation where things might be tense or uncomfortable. A light-hearted remark or a playful comment can diffuse the tension, making her feel more at ease, more connected to you. These moments accumulate over time, building a bond based on laughter, trust, and a shared understanding of each other's rhythms. And while humour can lighten the mood, it also deepens your emotional connection. Women are drawn to men who can make them laugh, but they're equally drawn to men who make them feel seen, heard, and understood. When you can combine humour with emotional intelligence, you become a man who is not just attractive for a moment, but captivating over time. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, a man who can make a woman laugh is a rare and valuable find. The ability to bring humour into everyday situations shows a certain mastery over your emotions and outlook on life. This doesn't mean you should be cracking jokes 24/7 or trying to be the comedian in the room. It means you should learn to recognise the moments when humour can bring joy or lightness to the situation. With practical Stoicism, you understand that life is full of challenges, but you also know that it's your ability to approach those challenges with humour, grace, and resilience that defines you as a strong, attractive partner. Humour creates a foundation of comfort and trust. It's the glue that holds you together when life gets tough. Women are looking for someone who can laugh through the hard times, who can make them feel safe and comfortable enough to laugh too. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't force it. Don't try to be someone you're not. Instead, Focus on being present, being aware of the moments around you, and allowing humor to flow naturally. Avoid humor that feels pressured or forced, as this will only make you seem insecure. Instead, be confident in your ability to find joy in the simplest moments. This is what will draw her to you. And remember, humor is not just about the jokes you tell, it's about the connection you create. When you master this, you'll not only be a man who can make her laugh, but a man who makes her feel seen, heard, and understood. This is what makes you irresistibly attractive, and it's what will keep her coming back for more. 6. Emotional intelligence and empathy. In the modern world, emotional intelligence, EQ, stands as one of the most potent, yet often overlooked traits that will draw people to you, particularly women. It's the ability to not only recognize and understand your own emotions, but to also recognize and empathize with the emotions of others. This is a powerful skill that allows you to connect deeply, forging bonds that go beyond superficial interactions. Women are inherently attracted to men who are emotionally intelligent because it demonstrates maturity, self-awareness, and an understanding of the nuances of human relationships. Emotional intelligence allows you to handle life's challenges, whether personal or professional, with grace and composure. You are able to manage your emotions effectively and, crucially, respond to others' emotions in a way that shows empathy and respect. Imagine being able to navigate the stress of a difficult conversation or resolve conflict without escalating the situation. This is exactly what women look for in a partner, someone who can stay calm, patient, and poised under pressure. But what exactly is empathy? And why does it matter? Empathy, a core component of emotional intelligence, is the ability to genuinely understand and connect with the emotions of others. Women deeply value a man who can step into their shoes, whether they're going through a challenging time or celebrating a triumph. When you show that you care about what someone is feeling, it fosters a sense of trust, respect, and comfort. Imagine being the person she turns to when the world feels heavy, or when she needs a partner to share in her joy and success. That level of emotional connection is rare, and it's something women find profoundly attractive. Empathy isn't just about offering a comforting word during tough times. It's also about sharing in her victories with genuine enthusiasm and excitement. This is the kind of partnership where open, honest communication flows naturally, and both partners feel supported, understood, and deeply respected. By honing your emotional intelligence, you cultivate a deep awareness of not only your own feelings, but also the emotional landscape of those around you. This heightened sensitivity enriches your relationships and allows you to build stronger, more meaningful connections. Women appreciate a man who can recognize their emotional needs and strike the right balance between offering support, giving space, and providing encouragement. This sensitivity doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong. When you are emotionally aware, you are in control of your reactions and responses. It's the ultimate demonstration of stoic control. You don't let the chaos of the world shake you, and as a result, people, particularly women, find you more trustworthy and dependable. However, emotional intelligence isn't a one-time achievement. It's a practice. It's something you must continuously refine and nurture throughout your life. You don't just get it and stop there. You must actively work to understand your emotions, recognize your triggers, and develop the resilience to respond with maturity. This process aligns closely with the Stoic rules that teach the value of self-mastery. Practicing practical Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about managing them in a way that promotes calmness, clarity, and control. When you master this skill, you open the door to creating deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Women are drawn to men who are able to stay grounded, even when life presents as inevitable challenges. This kind of emotional maturity is incredibly attractive and sets you apart from the crowd. As you continue to grow in your emotional intelligence, you also begin to cultivate a greater sense of self-awareness. This self-awareness allows you to tune into the needs of those around you with precision. It's no longer just about reacting to situations. It's about understanding them from all angles. Women are looking for a man who can navigate their complexities, someone who doesn't just listen, but who genuinely understands. When you can offer that kind of emotional support, it creates a sense of safety and trust in the relationship. It builds a space where both individuals feel heard, validated, and valued. In today's world, where so many relationships can feel rushed or transactional, women are seeking something real, something authentic. This is where emotional intelligence becomes a game changer. It's the secret weapon that transforms interactions, turning them into meaningful connections. Women want a man who can offer them more than just surface-level attention. They want someone who sees them, understands them, and values their emotions. When you bring emotional intelligence into your life, you become that man. It's not just about impressing women. It's about cultivating genuine, authentic relationships that stand the test of time. Stoic principles teach us that emotional mastery isn't about being unaffected by the world around us. Instead, it's about understanding that we can control how we react, no matter the circumstances. Practical Stoicism calls on us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. In relationships, this principle is invaluable. You cannot control how others feel, but you can control your response. When you practice emotional intelligence, you harness this power to stay grounded in the face of emotional turbulence. You become the calm in the storm, the steady force that provides stability and support to those around you. The importance of emotional intelligence and empathy cannot be overstated. When you take the time to develop these qualities, you unlock the potential to create deeper, more fulfilling connections. You begin to understand not just your own emotional landscape, but that of those around you. This level of understanding makes you a more attractive partner and a more capable person overall. Women don't just want a man who can provide stability. They want someone who can connect with them on a deep, emotional level. By cultivating emotional intelligence, you become that man. This is the foundation for lasting, meaningful relationships. Embrace this journey of emotional growth, and you will find that the relationships you build are not only more fulfilling, but also more resilient. They will stand the test of time because they are rooted in understanding, respect, and a deep emotional connection that transcends the superficial. Ultimately, emotional intelligence is the bedrock upon which strong, lasting relationships are built. It's not just about being in tune with your own emotions, but also about understanding those of others, especially the women in your life. By practicing emotional intelligence, you are engaging in a lifelong process of growth that not only makes you a better partner, but a better individual. Cultivating this awareness, empathy, and understanding will set you on the path to deeper, more authentic relationships that leave a lasting, positive impact on everyone you encounter. If you're truly committed to mastering this skill, you'll find that the connections you forge will be more meaningful, more fulfilling, and more resilient. The work you put into understanding and practicing emotional intelligence will pay off in ways you never imagined, transforming both your personal relationships and your life as a whole. Hey everyone! Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey to mastering the art of attraction and connection. I'm really glad you stayed with us until the end, and I hope you're walking away with some powerful insights that you can actually start applying in your life right now. When it comes to attracting others, it's not about playing games or pretending to be something you're not. It's about being grounded in who you are, taking control of your own life, and following the wisdom that stood the test of time. The Stoic principles we discussed today have been used by some of history's most respected thinkers, and if you take them seriously, they can transform the way you approach relationships and interactions with others. But here's the thing. Knowledge is only powerful when you apply it. So what have you learned so far? What stuck with you the most from today's video? I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Drop a comment below and share one thing that really resonated with you and how you're planning to put that into practice in your own life moving forward. It doesn't matter if it's a small shift in mindset or a huge breakthrough moment, every step counts. If this video gave you something valuable, please make sure to leave a like, share it with someone you think might benefit from it, And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with more content like this. Every single one of you is capable of creating lasting, genuine connections, but it starts with being true to yourself and embracing the principles that lead to real, authentic attraction. Thank you again for watching, and as always, keep growing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one. Six signs a woman is in love with you but scared to show it. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is the silent language of the heart, sometimes spoken in ways we can't control. Unknown. Have you ever sensed that a woman in your life may have deep feelings for you but is too afraid to express them? Perhaps she gives off confusing signals. 1 minute, she's warm and engaging, and the next, she distances herself. Love, as we know, can be a complex emotion, particularly when fear prevents someone from fully opening up. In this video, we're about to uncover 6 subtle signs that reveal when a woman is in love with you but struggling to admit it. These signs, supported by psychological and behavioral studies, will give you the tools to understand the hidden emotions behind her actions. So, if you're wondering whether the special woman in your life might be secretly in love with you, stay with us until the end. Let's get started. Sign number 1. She pays close attention to you but avoids deep connection. Have you ever noticed a woman who remembers the smallest details about you, but when it comes to emotional closeness, she pulls back? Perhaps she recalls your favorite coffee order, the story you shared weeks ago, or even the little things about your childhood that most people forget. She pays attention to how you're feeling, your mood swings, and even the way you dress. But when the conversation veers towards something more intimate or personal, she changes the subject or avoids long eye contact. This is a clear sign that she's holding back emotions, despite her strong feelings for you. She may be drawn to you and deeply interested, but fear holds her back. Fear of getting hurt, fear of rejection, or even a fear of love itself can create this emotional wall. Instead of letting herself get too close, she plays it safe, maintaining a safe distance to protect herself. It's like walking the fine line between wanting to connect and being terrified of the vulnerability that connection brings. In moments like these, it's crucial to show patience. As the philosopher Seneca wisely said, "A calm and modest approach is the foundation of all strong relationships." Give her time and space to feel safe enough to let her guard down. Understand that the way she keeps a distance isn't a reflection of her lack of interest, but rather a defense mechanism against potential pain. Let her know through your actions, rather than just words, that you're trustworthy and kind. Over time, as she sees that you're not a threat, you may notice her moving closer to you emotionally. Sign number 2. She supports you in silent ways. In the realm of love, actions often speak louder than words, especially when a woman is in love with you but too afraid to show it. She might not parade her feelings or express her affection in grand gestures, yet you'll find her quietly supporting you in ways that matter most. She's the one who is always there when you need help, without needing to be asked, without making a scene. Perhaps it's the way she remembers the small details, like your favorite drink or the way you like things done. Maybe it's how she listens intently when you vent about your day or offers quiet words of encouragement when life gets tough. These actions are not the boisterous declarations of love, but rather a deep, silent commitment to being there for you. It's as if her heart is speaking through every little thing she does, offering a profound support that is rooted in care and understanding. This is not just a superficial gesture. It's the sign of a woman who truly loves you, but her fears and insecurities keep her from admitting it. In the words of the great philosopher Seneca, "A loving heart is the truest wisdom." This silent support, the unspoken loyalty, is a wisdom that is often more valuable than grand displays of affection. It speaks of a profound emotional bond and a commitment to your well-being that transcends words. Don't let this subtle form of love slip by unnoticed. Pay attention to the little ways she supports you, because this silent strength is a reflection of the depth of her feelings. So, if you find yourself receiving quiet, thoughtful gestures of support, take a moment to appreciate them. Remember that love doesn't always need to be shouted from the rooftops. It's sometimes found in the smallest of actions. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Love is shown through the quietest acts. Like this video, if you believe in the power of silent support, and subscribe for more wisdom on understanding love and relationships. Sign number 3. She gets jealous but hides it. Jealousy is one of the most powerful signals that someone has deeper feelings for you even when they try to mask it. If a woman is in love with you but afraid to reveal it, jealousy is often a hidden emotion that surfaces despite her best efforts to conceal it. Watch carefully for those moments when she casually asks about other women in your life, masking her curiosity with an innocent tone. Yet there's a subtle tension in her words. When she sees you talking to someone else, you might notice a shift in her mood. She might become quieter or distant, as if the conversation you're having with another woman is somehow pulling her away from you. In the midst of it all, she may make playful comments about your female friends or colleagues, tinged with just a hint of irritation. Psychologists have long understood that jealousy is a natural emotional response when we fear losing someone we care deeply about. The more someone fears losing their connection with you, the more likely they are to feel jealousy, even when they try to downplay it. But don't let her attempts to mask her feelings fool you. The fact that she reacts emotionally to the idea of you being with someone else is a strong indicator that her feelings for you run much deeper than mere friendship. This is where the old Stoic wisdom can shed light on the situation. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. In other words, when she hides her feelings or acts out of jealousy, it's a sign that she's grappling with vulnerability and fear. Her emotional reactions are the silent cries of someone too afraid to admit their feelings out loud. If you're attentive to these shifts, you'll see her heart on display, even when she tries to hide it. So, pay attention to these subtle emotional shifts. They're her way of showing you that she cares, even if she's too scared to say it. And if you recognize this in her, don't ignore it. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know if you've ever experienced this emotional tension in your relationships. Are you ready to step into the truth of the feelings that may be waiting to be revealed? Comment below. I see through the hidden signs of love. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that will change the way you see relationships forever. Sign number 4. She finds ways to be around you. When a woman is in love with you, but too afraid to express it openly, her actions will often reveal her true feelings, despite her best efforts to hide them. One clear sign is her tendency to seek out opportunities to be near you. Even if she tries to suppress her emotions, the pull of attraction is undeniable. She will often find subtle ways to position herself in your presence, whether it's by showing up at places where you happen to be or offering to help with tasks, acting as if it's purely coincidental. In these moments, her intentions may seem casual, but underneath, they speak volumes about her desire to be close to you. This behavior is instinctual. Her heart wants to be near you, and no matter how much her mind may try to hold back, her actions betray her true emotions. The key is to pay attention to these small but telling signs. If you notice that she frequently seems to be around you, whether it's at work, social events, or casual encounters, it's likely not a coincidence. Her desire to be in your orbit, even without directly stating it, shows that she's emotionally invested and that her feelings for you run deeper than she may be willing to admit. This kind of behavior is rooted in the natural human instinct to seek connection with someone we care about, a lesson that aligns with the Stoic principle of being aware of our emotions and recognizing the silent cues others give us. So, if you sense her presence more often than expected, know that her heart is speaking through her actions, loud and clear, even when her words fall silent. Sign number 5. She opens up to you, then pulls away. In the complex world of emotions, one of the most telling signs of a woman's hidden love is the push and pull dynamic. Imagine this. One day, she's sharing her deepest thoughts with you, opening up about her dreams, her fears, and personal vulnerabilities. She might tell you things she's never told anyone else, giving you a glimpse into her heart, but then, without warning, she pulls away. She becomes distant, cold, or unresponsive. This back and forth can leave you puzzled, but it's a sign that she's struggling internally with her feelings. As much as she wants to connect, there's an emotional wall she can't bring herself to cross, because vulnerability scares her. She realizes she's letting you in too much, and to protect herself from the potential heartbreak that comes with getting too close, she instinctively retreats. This emotional push and pull, while frustrating, reveals a woman's internal conflict. She longs to be open, to share her love, but fear holds her back, making it hard for her to fully express what she's feeling. It's like the words of the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Her actions may seem contradictory, but they reflect her struggle between her feelings and her fears. The key here is to be patient. Understand that this emotional confusion doesn't mean she doesn't care. It's simply a sign that she's trying to navigate the complexities of love and vulnerability. If you notice this pattern, it's important to reassure her with your presence and your consistency. Trust the process and remember that sometimes the greatest love requires the greatest patience. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever experienced this emotional back and forth? Share your experiences in the comments below. Sign number 6. She gets jealous but hides it. Jealousy is one of the most powerful signals that someone has deeper feelings for you, even when they try to mask it. If a woman is in love with you but afraid to reveal it, jealousy is often a hidden emotion that surfaces despite her best efforts to conceal it. Watch carefully for those moments when she casually asks about other women in your life, masking her curiosity with an innocent tone, yet there's a subtle tension in her words. When she sees you talking to someone else, you might notice a shift in her mood. She might become quieter or distant, as if the conversation you're having with another woman is somehow pulling her away from you. In the midst of it all, she may make playful comments about your female friends or colleagues, tinged with just a hint of irritation. Psychologists have long understood that jealousy is a natural emotional response when we fear losing someone we care deeply about. The more someone fears losing their connection with you, the more likely they are to feel jealousy, even when they try to downplay it. But don't let her attempts to mask her feelings fool you. The fact that she reacts emotionally to the idea of you being with someone else is a strong indicator that her feelings for you run much deeper than mere friendship. This is where the Old Stoic wisdom can shed light on the situation. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. In other words, when she hides her feelings or acts out of jealousy, it's a sign that she's grappling with vulnerability and fear. Her emotional reactions are the silent cries of someone too afraid to admit their feelings out loud. If you're attentive to these shifts, you'll see her heart on display, even when she tries to hide it. So, pay attention to these subtle emotional shifts. They're her way of showing you that she cares, even if she's too scared to say it. And if you recognize this in her, don't ignore it. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know if you've ever experienced this emotional tension in your relationships. Are you ready to step into the truth of the feelings that may be waiting to be revealed? Comment below. I see through the hidden signs of love. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that will change the way you see relationships forever. Hey there. Thanks for tuning in. If you recognize these signs in someone, remember, be patient. Love can be intimidating, especially when someone carries past fears or experiences that make them hesitant to open up. Your role here is simple. Create a safe space where she feels comfortable enough to express her emotions without fear. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more relationship insights based on psychology and Stoic wisdom. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.